Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the High School Sports Zone, where we are setting the bar for high school football coverage here in the UP. I'm your host, Jake Durant, and I'm joined by Haley Schoengart. Now, Haley, the Marquette Redmen really sent everyone a reminder on Friday night that the crown is still theirs until someone can come and take it from them. The reigning GNC champs had it going at home against the top-ranked Kingsford Flivers.
That's right. The Redmen were focused and came out sharp, and I really think they wanted to make a statement Friday night. Marquette's offense was balanced, piling up 549 total yards, 298 passing, and 251 rushing. Senior quarterback Austin Riddle completed 16 of 23 passes, totaling 300 yards through the air, including 4 touchdowns. He was able to spread the ball around the gang of Marquette playmakers. The Redmen defense shut down the Kingsford running game, making the Flivers one-dimensional on offense. Kingsford quarterback Michael Meneguzzo did everything he could to keep Kingsford in the game, but it was the Redmen who left with a 55-35 win over their conference rival.
Oh, we've been preparing all week for this game, you know. People rank him above us, but we just came out and played our game, you know. We showed them what we got. We got all the players to do it, so we just finished it, came out on top.
You know, after any win, you feel good. I'm just happy for our kids. You know, they had this game circled on their calendar as far as the one they wanted to play. And, you know, you just are happy for the kids because after the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
After sitting out of the Marquette versus Escanaba game due to an injury, to say Justin Jeremy was ready for last week's Redmen and Flivers matchup would be putting it lightly.
Now, we're used to seeing Jeremy making plays on the offensive side of the football, but where he really shined Friday night was on defense, according to head coach Eric Mason.
This is the game I love, so like just having to miss it, it's the worst feeling I've ever felt. So being back here with my brothers is just the best thing.
Justin had a very good game, and where I was most impressed, we played him more on defense. And he's coming along there and as an outside linebacker for us, and that's just going to do nothing but help us. So, you know, we got a lot of kids with experience tonight, and, you know, we just hope to keep on moving.
Don't go away. We're just getting warmed up here in the Sports Zone. When we return, we're going to reveal our top 3 plays of last week. It's our top 3-on-3 coming up after the break. Welcome back into the Sports Zone. If you want to reach out to us, you can do it on our social media feeds. It's at the Local 3 Sports Zone on Facebook and at the Local 3 Sports ZN on Twitter. Also, keep up with us at upmatters.com/sportszone.
It's now time to reveal our top 3 plays of week 4 of the high school football season, Jake.
Now, these plays were so good, like Jordan in 96 and 97, we had to bring it back to back. This is our top 3-on-3 plays of the week, sponsored by Recycle 906.
Number 3.
Our number 3 play of the week is courtesy of Westwood's Zach Carlson. Carlson has something you cannot teach, and that's a knack for the end zone. Moments after taking a handoff 70-plus yards to the house, Carlson showing out on defense. He takes that interception back for the pick 6. Westwood wins big over rival Ishpeming, and a big part of that win was the play of Carlson. Congrats, Zach. You get our number 3 play of the week.
Number 2.
Our number 2 play of the week features Marquette's Nate Benninger. Benninger taking the quick pass and snatches ankles. After a handful of defenders miss, he's into the end zone for the score. Not 1, but 2 Kingsford defenders get put on skates. Congratulations, Nate. You get our number 2 play of the week.
Number 1.
And for our number 1 play of the week, we go to the Battle of the Bay, the Battle of Delta County, whatever you want to call it. The Braves going into their bag of tricks after Braves quarterback Cam Kelly suffered a season-ending broken collarbone. Backup quarterback Nate Young tosses to Eli Berthume. Eli tosses to Johnny Hansen for the touchdown. The Braves beat the Eskimos for the first time since 2010. Congrats to the Braves. You get our number 1 play of the week. It's now time for our updated team rankings reveal. We have ourselves a bit of a shakeup after the completion of week 4.
Always remember, these rankings can and will change from week to week.
Here are our High School Sports Zone team rankings, brought to you by 41 Lumber. We'll start in 11-man football. At number 1, we have the Marquette Redmen. At number 2, we have the Kingsford Flivers. In the number 3 slot is Menominee. Gladstone sits at number 4. And rounding out the top 5 is Westwood. We also got to give a shout out to the Negaunee Miners. They get honorable mention.
And moving into 8-man, North Central takes the number 1 slot. Pickford at number 2. At number 3, we have Forest Park. Rudyard sits at 4, and Ontonagon enters our rankings at number 5. Take a look at those top 4 teams, all still 4-0 heading into week 5 of the season. What do you think about these rankings? Let us know. Visit our Facebook or our Twitter pages and give us your thoughts. Make sure to stay with us. We are just minutes away from revealing our 5th game of the week for the 2021 season.
But first, we're going to head to Gladstone. The Braves getting a huge monkey off of their backs after a big win at Escanaba. That's coming up next. Welcome back into the Sports Zone. If you want to reach out to us, you can do it on our social media feeds. It's at the Local 3 Sports Zone on Facebook and at the Local 3 Sports ZN on Twitter. Also, keep up with us at upmatters.com/sportszone.
Don't look now, but the Negaunee Miners are getting better and better as each week passes and getting more confident by the day.
Negaunee has won 3 straight games, their most recent victory coming last week against Manistee.
One person who put up some gaudy stats in the game is Philip Nelson. He put up some Randy Moss-like numbers, 3 receptions, 125 yards, and 2 scores. But like any good leader, Nelson has taken the spotlight off of himself and shined it on his fellow teammates.
Yeah, it was good, but it's never about myself. It's all about the team effort and how you play as a team and how you can improve on that. So, I think Jared played really good. He put the ball where it needed to be, and the linemen blocked really well. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So our goal is to get better each week, take our weaknesses and improve on them during practice. And yeah, so I think we'll improve. And where we are this week is not where we want to be next week. We want to be farther.
Nelson has become quite the weapon for head coach Paul Jacobson and his coaching staff.
Well, Phil's had a great offseason. He's really prepared himself well to have success this season. He's a hard worker. He's got a great attitude, and it showed in his performance the last couple of weeks. The biggest thing with Phil is, he's part of our team right now. It's able to be. We had a pretty good strong run game so far. And it's good to be able to have that option to be able to throw the ball also. And I think between Phil and Brenton Bellinger and Curtis Kangas, we got 3 receivers that complement each other very well.
The Miners are back at home tomorrow night hosting Ishpeming.
No matter what you do, you go out there and you out-hit Escanaba from the word go till the final whistle. Give her every single down. Stay loose, have fun, stick together. Let's go beat the Eskimos.
You just heard Gladstone head coach Jeff Hansen rallying his guys before their big game against Escanaba last Friday, and it worked, Jake.
Gladstone went to Escanaba and left with a victory. It was a long time coming for Coach Hansen and the rest of the Braves. The last time Gladstone went to their rivals' field and left with a win was over 3 decades ago. Hansen called the game a healthy rivalry that is great for both communities and the county.
Escanaba and Gladstone have been playing football for 120 years, and this is the first time that we've beaten Escanaba in 11 seasons, and it's the first time that we've beaten Escanaba in Escanaba since 1985, our semifinal team, and only a handful of teams in Gladstone history have ever beaten Escanaba in Escanaba. And on top of that, our JVs won too, so we had a program sweep, which hasn't happened in 3 decades as well. So we were able to exercise a lot of demons on Friday and really play our best football by far and really have a great outcome.
A big key to the Braves' victory was the play of John Hansen, the son of head coach Jeff Hansen. He had a monster game, over 100 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns, a 2-point conversion. On defense, he had an interception, a sack, and a forced fumble.
In the last couple of weeks, I had struggled a little bit, haven't had many catches, but I knew that their corners were playing far off and they kind of just sat there, so running past them wasn't too hard. We were just really excited to go out there and play the football that we've been practicing all week to do.
Yeah, Johnny's a good football player. It's a unique experience to be a head football coach and coach your child. And I've had it both ways. My daughter was a softball coach and I coached her in high school softball, and now my son through football. And it's a lot of fun because you have that the coach and player dynamic while you're at the field, and it's probably tougher on him because he's got dad as coach and the expectations are high. But he really came through and played his best football game and made huge plays at the most critical times.
Gladstone will host Marquette tomorrow night and will be without John Hansen for a few weeks as he recovers from a lower leg injury. Quarterback Cam Kelly will miss the remainder of the season with a broken collarbone, but don't count out Gladstone. They've shown they can fight through adversity.
Coming up on the Sports Zone, we'll reveal where we're headed for our game of the week.
But first, we head to Ishpeming to introduce you to a special player with a big mission behind her love for the game, and we'll show you how you can help raise money for breast cancer awareness right here in the Upper Peninsula. Each week in our Athlete Spotlight, we share the stories from student athletes who have a reputation for more than just athleticism.
For one Ishpeming athlete, not having an inspiration on the field is what drove her to do that for little girls that look up to her.
From a young age, Haley knew suiting up for the Hematites was a goal of hers.
Yeah, I would play catch with my mom, and we're both girls, so it's always been a thing, and we would come down here and watch, and I just always loved it.
Growing up, Haley's mom, Jennifer, said she could play football as long as she hit 100 pounds. Fast forward to 2019, Haley suited up in the blue and white, crossing this childhood dream off of her list.
I kind of feel like I'm doing something for girls, and I never got to see another girl on this field, and if I was in the stands watching me, it'd make me want to play. So
she brings diversity, definitely, to the fact that it brings a maturity to the team as well.
At most Hematite games, you can hear people calling her name from the stands. Haley serves as an inspiration not only to future female football stars, but to all.
Very proud that because Haley has always been shy, and it just shocks me that she came forward and is playing on a team with all boys, with male coaches, and she's the only girl.
It's a very hard sport, and I hope I can show other girls that even if there's no other girls doing a thing, it doesn't have to be football, it could be anything, a job, that you can do it. Doesn't mean you can't do it.
Haley is such a great name with many amazing and talented people that have that name, wouldn't you have to agree, Jake?
Now, I don't do this often, but I guess this time I'll agree with you.
You love to hear the sound of that, guys.
The world of sports is about much more than wins and losses. It's about having a sense of community. Each year, the Superior Health Foundation selects a school to highlight for its Painting the Peninsula in Pink campaign. The players, coaches, cheerleaders, and fans will all be wearing pink on Saturday. Athletic director for Wakefield Marinisco School District said this is a cause everyone can get behind.
I thought it would be a great partnership, and it's just a great cause, and we're really looking forward to it. And we've been the kids have been excited about it. The community, I think, is getting pretty excited about it as well, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the week and to Saturday coming up.
At the game, there will be tons of great pink merch to buy, like pom-poms, megaphones, bracelets, and t-shirts. There's even a silent auction to take home one of the pink jerseys used in the game.
It's all a fundraiser for the Superior Health Foundation's Breast Health Fund, which covers out-of-pocket expenses for our neighbors in the UP battling breast cancer.
Unfortunately, we all know someone who has been affected by breast cancer, whether it's a mother, a sister, a neighbor, a grandmother. And, I could tell you over the years when we've partnered with these different teams, I've had players, coaches who have come up with tears in their eyes saying, you have no idea how important this is because I lost somebody to breast cancer.
If you can't go to the game or just want to support the cause, go to upmatters.com and search Painting the Peninsula Pink. You'll find a link to the donation page.
Up next on the Sports Zone, it's that time we've all been waiting for.
We'll tell you where we're headed for our game of the week for Week 5 coming up.
Welcome back into the Sports Zone. If you want to reach out to us, you can do it on our social media feeds. It's at the Local 3 Sports Zone on Facebook and at the Local 3 Sports ZN on Twitter. Also, keep up with us at upmatters.com/sportszone. We are nearing the end of the show, which means it's time to reveal our next Game of the Week destination. Now, this one is going to be fun. We get to see two teams, Haley, that you and I haven't had the opportunity to see much this season.
Yes, we are making our way west to take in a good one in the 8-player league. We're breaking out our pink gear and we will be in Go-Gibbick for a special Saturday edition of the Game of the Week where the Miners are hosting the Stevenson Eagles.
Not only are we going to take in a great game, but also we'll be taking part in the Superior Health Foundation's Paint the Peninsula in Pink campaign. That's right, super excited to be a part of it. There's going to be a bunch of pink merch on sale and a silent auction with all proceeds going to the foundation's Breast Health Fund, which covers out-of-pocket expenses for our neighbors in the UP battling breast cancer. Stevenson is back after getting last week stripped away from them. The team was dealing with a COVID situation, but they're putting that behind them and are ready to play some football.
It's an amazing feeling because we get to finally go back out. I mean, because we've had some games where we weren't able to play, but we get to go out there, get to go have some fun, and just go play some football. Well, I think we just need to play as a team. We need to do all of our jobs, like, as a team. Like, we all do what we're supposed to, and I think we'll just be perfectly fine.
To one Stevenson player, this weekend's game means much more than a win or a loss.
That's really awesome. Last year, I actually dyed my hair pink for breast cancer, and it was just nice. I mean, some people looked at me weird, but I think it's just nice to go out there and support people because recently I got the news my mom got cancer, and it's not the best thing, and I don't want anybody to have to go through that. So I'm kind of happy that we're doing this, and hopefully it raises enough money and helps some people get through things.
And on the home side of the matchup, the Go-Gibbick Miners are bringing a young team to the table. After making the switch to 8-man this season, this team features only 6 seniors. Some of the inexperience on the field can be reflected in their rocky start to the season, but the Miners are looking to bounce back for the remainder of the season.
Well, right now, what we've learned from the past few games, we've lost those games that we could have done well in because of big mistakes. And big mistakes meaning those wide open passes either not thrown well or dropped, and those handoffs were fumbled. And I mean, even the little things like when we knock a ball out of the opposing team's hands, we're not the ones getting on the ball, or we don't notice it. We're letting easy plays, we're letting them get by us, and we just got to keep working harder.
Here on the High School Sports Zone, we are more than just team highlights. You can't have a football game without some halftime entertainment.
Performing in front of a packed house at the Kingsford and Marquette game would make anyone nervous, but try to add on some technical difficulties on top of that.
We know all about technical difficulties here, but these ladies did not let it faze them. They brought the crowd to their feet and they put on an amazing performance. And now on to arguably one of Jake's favorite parts of the High School Sports Zone.
Before we sign off this week, we are going to send you off with the lovely tunes brought to you courtesy of the Marquette Marching Band. Make sure to tune into the 5th Down tomorrow night on Local 3 News at 11 p.m. Eastern for highlights from all the action across the UP. Thanks for joining us and have a good night.